Hey guys, and welcome. This is the DayZ tutorial for beginners. In this tutorial I'm going to show you how to get from your first /play to your first evacuation. Alright, and if you're a brand new player, make sure you get the pack. It's one of the most important things on the server, because otherwise nothing will make sense. So make sure you do /pack and make sure you get the resource pack. Alright, so as we enter here, we're going to enter the safe zone. And this is the place where you're going to relax, you're going to store your gear, you're going to trade stuff, you're going to do whatever you want here. Lots of helpful information if you're a new player. So just go around here and read, and yeah, we'll get started here. So we're going to head over to the play area, and yeah, in order to start playing, you're going to type /play, or you're going to type /play name if you want to play with friends. So if you've got other people online, you put their names in and you'll be able to play with them. But since we're alone, we're just going to do /play. Alright, so I've just spawned in. Looks like I've spawned in sort of like a rural area, less populated, not a lot of people here. And there's no other players on the server right now, as this is a like a test server, because we're about to release the update. But this is the random items that I was spawned in with. So I'm going to put on those clothes, and I got some fuel here, and I got a crowbar that I can use to smack zombies with. And I hear one sneaking up on me, so I'm going to start heading towards this farm here. And yeah, so as a brand new player, the goal is not always to kill the zombies, because they are quite dangerous. They might not be dangerous to immediately kill you, but if you get bitten, it's not gonna be very nice. So I'm just gonna start looting here. Nothing too valuable in there. You don't want to have too many melee weapons, or else you're gonna run out of space very quickly. But yeah, so I started out pretty basic. Got some decent armor on here. One thing you can do is you always will spawn with a compass, and with a compass you can have it point towards locations that are near you. And you can also track evacuations. These are important, and we'll get into that later on in the video. And then airdrops, that's kind of like extra. If you're a new player, I don't know if I'd recommend going to an airdrop, because they're quite dangerous and there's lots of player versus player there, and you might get killed. So you can try to, but it's usually pretty dangerous. And yeah, if you also don't know where we are, like right now, I know where I am because I've made the map and all that, but a new player is not going to really know where they are. So one of the things you can do is you can do the command /map, and if you click that link, it's going to send you to the world, and you can use the coordinates up here to find out where you are on the map. And right now we're at a farm that's just off the city of Imperius. Here comes a zombie. So this is a zombie that's kind of in my way, so I'm going to kill him. And the goal is to make sure he doesn't hit me. You want to kill them and make sure that they don't hit you, because that can really hurt you. So always good to check your surroundings and never assume that you're safe. So I'm going to check this room out before anything happens, and I'm going to start looting. So that's some bullets right there. I can use those in some guns. And let's just keep looting. You basically want to pick up everything, because you don't know if anything's good yet. These are supply crates. You can loot these. Sometimes they'll have stuff. Most of the time they have nothing. Hey, some rags. I can hear some zombies. So I'm going to go over loot really quick. So loot will always tell you the type and then the level. So this is industrial level 1. Industrial is lots of metal and things like that. So and the level is obviously the higher the level, the better. So the different loot types that you're opening will determine the different items that you'll find. And for the most part, just open chests. You know, just go around and look for stuff. And if you use the /map, it'll show you a lot of information about where locations are. So like this is a farm, for example. So in farms, you're going to find a lot of farm loot, a lot of residential loot, a lot of basic kind of food and water and clothes. There, balaclava, I can wear that. So there. So like if you look at my stats right now, I'm doing pretty good. If you want to see all your stats, you do /armor. And there you go. So I got some good protection against blunt right now and slashing damage. My piercing isn't that great, and I got decent fire. And then these are all the abilities that my armor offers to help me out. So I'll bleed 5% less, I'll break my bones 15% less, and so on. So yeah, armor is really good. You want to pick your armor wisely, because it can really help you in a lot of ways. And yeah, another thing you want to look for is food. Food is very important. So right now I've got only 3 pieces of food, so I want to make sure that I'm getting more so I don't starve. Because starving and dying of thirst and all that kind of stuff is stuff you have to look out for. So let's just keep moving here. Loot these trucks. There we go, I found some water. As you see there, I put the pitchfork back. It's because I've got a crowbar, and I'm not really going to be using this crowbar for too much time. So I don't want to have too many melee weapons. Like having this screwdriver is not necessarily a good idea, because it's just going to take up more inventory space. But there, I found some bread. That's really good. And this is water. So water is very important. So if you look at my EXP level right there at the bottom, where it says 21, that's my current thirst. And every time you drink, it'll raise that number back up. And the max number it can be is 25. And that means you have 25 minutes of thirst. Once that hits 0, you're going to start dying. It's similar to hunger. You want to make sure that you don't run out of thirst. So if I drink this, there you go. I'm back up to 25. And here comes a zombie. So yeah, so as you see here, I can't open this loot because this is a level 2 farm loot. Now this is a higher tier loot. In order to open this, I would need to find a gray key or a lockpick. So since I don't have that, I can't loot that right now. And I'm going to have to come back to that if I find those keys. Keys are a really good way to get access to some of the really good loot, but obviously it can be difficult. And if you die, you'll drop your keys. So you got to keep that in mind. The server's all about risk and reward. So here's a dilemma I got. Should I wear the rubber boots or the Blundstones? I think I'm going to keep the rubber boot or the Blundstones just because they've got better slashing protection, which is going to protect me from zombies more. But it's totally up to you. Cowboy hat. Gotta wear the cowboy hat. Oh yeah. I'm a proper zombie survivor now. So yeah, we're just going to be looting this house here. And then eventually you want to go up and loot some better spots. But for the most part, I'm just trying to teach you today the basics. So again, it's not always about killing every zombie you see. As you see, there's lots of zombies. If I tried to fight all of them, it would probably not end too well for me. I would be bitten, and I'd be bleeding, and I'd have to figure out a way to stop that. So the name of the game is to avoid. So there we go. As you just saw, I just found a sawed-off shotgun and a little pistol, a little revolver. So guns are very interesting in this server. There's lots of stuff to know about guns. Guns, they equip at different speeds. They have different, bullet velocities, damage. The ammo they use is different. So as you saw here earlier, I found some medium caliber bullets, right? But this gun uses small caliber, so I won't be able to use those bullets. But because I found gunpowder and scrap metal, I can actually craft 15 small caliber bullets, just like that. So what I just did there was a custom crafting item. So this server's quite big and there's a lot to learn. So don't be too stressed about learning everything right off the bat. I'm just trying to teach you some of the basics. But if you do /crafting, you can learn all about our crafting recipes. So there's tons of crafting recipes. So for example, small caliber bullet, here you go. That's how you make 15 small cal. If you want to make 15 high cal, or med cal I mean, medium caliber bullets, you need 2 scrap metal. And then 3 scrap metal. It's pretty easy to understand once you see that, but there's tons of crafting. As you can see, you can make juggernaut armor and all this kind of stuff. So yeah, you just want to keep that in mind and all this stuff. So since I'm not wearing these rubber boots, a really smart thing to do would be to craft it and rip it into rags. So with rags, what I can do is I can use 3 rags to make a bandage. So if I start bleeding, I could use that, but since I'm not bleeding, I'm not going to do that just yet. With rags, you can heal. So if you hold it and then you left click, it'll heal you a little bit. So rags are good to have. Another thing you can do with rags is you can craft it with stuff like medicine and make medical gauze, and there's lots of stuff you can do. So what I highly recommend is if you ever find like clothing that you're not going to wear, just rip it into rags. You want to have if you've got a big pile of rags, it's going to help you in a lot of ways. So there's lots of zombies there, so I'm just going to try to probably head towards the big city. And pretty soon I'll try to evacuate just to teach you how to do that. But so far I haven't really found anything that great yet, so I feel like I'm going to stay in the world until I've got some better loot. And I'll probably cut out this travel time. So yeah, I'll see you guys back when I get to Imperius. Alright guys, so I'm approaching Imperius. This is one of the bigger cities in the world. And let's see here, if I right click this, yeah, Imperius City is very close to me. So if I click this, yeah, it's right there. So cities are something you're going to want to be careful about because there's lots of spawns in cities, which means there's lots of players in cities. So you don't want to be in a city if you're afraid of other players, because this is where there's going to be a lot of them. And as you can see, there's big skyscrapers everywhere. You got to watch out for snipers. There could be a guy up on top of that building up there, or up top of that building. So you just got to keep your eyes open and remember that guns will kill you fast. So Your guns will kill them fast, but their guns are going to kill you fast too. So here's some militia loot. It's pretty good. Like, gives you some weapons and ammo. I'm going to loot this. I think this is a gun store probably. Oh, there's a lockpick. That would have been helpful for that farm level 2 that we couldn't access. This allows you to open any loot one time. Alright, so let's keep looting here. Balaclava, so again, I'm not going to use it, so I'm going to rip it into rags. Ooh, a police top. It's much better than my shirt, so I'll rip my shirt up and I'll put on the police top. There we go, so I'm starting to get a little stronger. And these are crafting tables. So remember I mentioned that there's /crafting. So if you do /crafting, some of the items are going to require you to use all 9 slots of a crafting GUI. So in order to make a radium crystal, for example, a very high tier item, you would need to find one of these crafting tables, and then you'd be able to do it here. And yeah, so let's just keep going. I'm going to loot these ammo boxes, nothing. And you want to be very careful going through buildings because you don't know if there's a player, and they might be like sneaking in a corner with a shotgun. So always be aware and remember that your life is it could end at any moment, and that's kind of the fun of the game, is that it makes things a little more intense. So here's a furnace or a place to cook stuff. So what you can do is you can find raw foods, and with raw foods, like say this old potato, and I put in this bundle of firewood, there we go. So I can actually cook the old potato in there. And I'll get a cooked potato, and that'll be good when I start to need to get food. So right now I'm doing alright on food. You don't want to eat rotten meat unless you have to, but it's always there if you want to become a cannibal. But I mean, it's always there. It's better than starving. I just realized they also have a bowl, so I can actually cook some, or make some stew. That'll be good. So yeah, I'm not doing too bad on food, and as you can see, my food is full still. So, no reason to freak out or anything. I found a bandit mask. I'm probably going to switch out my cowboy hat for this, because if you look at the bandit bandana, it gives that 10% movement speed, which I really like personally. I like to be able to move quick. So let's keep moving up this building here. You don't want to stay in one place for too long. Once you've done looting something, it'll take a while for it to regenerate, so there's not really too much of a point. So these firefighter shoes, Blundstones. I think I'm going to keep the Blundstones for now. And this is a nutrition hat. So this hat's kind of funny. It reduces your hunger by 90%. So that's really nice for traveling. But right now I'm not really having any hunger problems, so I think I'm going to keep the bandit mask because that gives me faster movement speed. And again, this is totally up to you. You can decide what armor you want to wear. No armor is necessarily the best armor, just like no gun is necessarily the best gun. And, oh, I didn't notice that. I'm talking so much that I'm forgetting some stuff. So I found a knife, and I think I prefer the knife over the crowbar, so I'm just going to put the crowbar away. Baseball bat. Again, it all comes down to personal preference. So if you like the knife, you go with the knife. If you like the crowbar or the baseball bat, you go with that. They all do different damage types too. So right now, my armor, if I do /armor, right now I'm the most strong against slashing. So if someone used this knife on me, piercing, it would be much more effective because I only have 23% piercing. So yeah, we got some zombies here. Feeling a little bit more confident. Oh, so there's multiple types of special zombies, and this one is called a infester, and he's a little bit faster than the other ones. So you just got to watch out. Don't let him bite you. The goal of the game is just to keep the zombies far enough away that they can't bite you, because if you get bit, you can bleed and you can get infected, and that's not good. So let me just kill these zombies. They're not too hard to kill. They're mainly difficult when there's like 1,000 of them, and there's not too many right now, but at any moment I could turn a corner and there could be a massive horde of them coming towards me like a tsunami. So it's important to remember that you gotta keep aware. And another thing is, if like how it was in my inventory there, don't do that outside like this, because there could be a guy up there with a sniper, there could be a zombie around the corner. If you're gonna take a second to look in your inventory, what I recommend is you come inside, close the door. You're going to run over here, you're going to try to find some safe little spot where you can chill for a moment, like here, and then fiddle in your inventory, because on this server it's very unforgiving. If you're not paying attention, you will probably die. So just remember that. What was I going to do? Oh yeah, so here's a bone. So there's lots of items in this game that give you experience, and one of the parts of the game is skills. So right now my skills are all 0, because I just started, so I don't really have any levels in much. But as you can see here, I'm starting to get some levels. So I've got 22 out of 25. So that means I'll level up my looting skill here shortly. And I got 18 out of 25, I got 4 out of 25. So I'm almost close to leveling up some of these. And one of the ways to do that is to do stuff like burying bones. So as you see here, burying a bone will give me 2 hunting experience because I'm respecting the animal. And there we go, and now I'm up to 4. So once you start doing stuff, you'll start to generate more experience, and that's going to help you level up. And leveling up different skills does different things. Like this will give you more health. This will give you more money when you kill stuff, and also makes your hit stronger. This is going to give you better deals with the merchants. You're going to find more items and loot and open backpacks faster, and this will help you teleport around faster and evacuate faster. So the skills are very helpful. And again, every time I'm finding any leather, now I've got 13, and I haven't even bled yet. And there we go. So that's the sound that lets you know that you leveled up. So I just leveled up looting to level 1, which means now I should be finding more loot more often, which is nice. Now the thing about skills is that, as you see there, it says, on death, you will drop 1 level. So right now I'm level 1 in looting, but let's say some guy shot a sniper through this hole here and killed me, I would go back to 0. So you will lose 1 level in each skill when you die, and that's kind of like, you want to survive as long as possible so you get those skills up. Ooh, a machete. I love the machete, so I'm going to take that. And I'm also going to rip these into rags, because why not? And so let's check these out. And these are ammo boxes. They can sometimes have nothing, and sometimes have something. So it's always good to check them. Even if they usually have nothing, even a few bullets is going to be nice. I know you're all probably wanting me to shoot my shotgun here, even though I've got some shells. So I'll try it. I don't want to blast anybody's ears out, because on this server, gunshots are, I don't want to say realistic, because they're not that loud, but they're loud enough to spook some people. So there's a zombie down there. I probably won't be able to kill him with the sawed-off, but I'll just show you guys what some of the guns are like. So this is a shotgun. Yeah, it was pretty loud, and anybody over there in that area would have been really, really hurt by that shot. And here's like a little sheriff with 6 shots, and this is the small caliber bullets it uses. So when you aim a gun, you have much better accuracy. So if you want my advice on how to shoot guns, if you're shooting someone really up close, you don't have to aim, you can just go like this. You can just shoot them. But what I recommend is if you're shooting anybody at distance, what you want to do is you want to aim and crouch. What this will do is this will make your shot the most accurate it can be. So you aim and then you shoot, and now look at my bullets. They're going almost exactly where I'm telling them to go. Yeah, so it's really important. Now I'm wasting all my ammo, so I shouldn't probably do that, but for the video, I'll do it, you know. I hear those guys bursting down my door. I hope it's not too loud. Just in case it is, I'm going to lower it to 6. That's the zombies downstairs. They're not too happy. So as you guys can see, my thirst is now 12, so I should probably drink some more. And there's no reason not to, because I just found another water bottle, so I can just replenish that. And let's just loot each room. Why not? Now I hear a lot of them, so that it could be a group of them. They probably came from that shotgun, so when you shoot a gun, it's loud, and oh my gosh. Okay, so we got to be a little smart here. Let's go up the stairs. That's too many zombies. I'm not going to win that fight, so let's just go up here. Just loot pretty quick. I think they're coming up still. Yeah, they're coming up, so I got to make a decision here. I'm going to just go in here and close that door, and they can still come up there, so I got to be smart here. So yeah, a lot of the game is running from the zombies. You don't necessarily want to get into fights, because if you bleed or anything, it's not really going to be worth it. This is a survival game. You're not trying to kill everything you find. You want to get loot, and you want to survive. So, nothing in those. There's some high caliber bullets, which I don't really have a need for right now, but I guess I'll take them. And let's go here. What's this one? Ooh, militia level 4, and that's locked. So since I don't have the green key, but I do have this lockpick. So these chests usually are higher tier, which means they can spawn with better items. So let's see here. Aha! So I got a gym bag, which I can really use right now because I'm getting too much items. I found a anarchist hoodie, which is nice, but I kind of prefer my bandit mask, so I'm just going to leave that there. And I found a Delisle. This is very good. So those bullets I found right here, these high caliber bullets, they actually work with this gun. So that's very lucky. So now I've got this little carbine. It's not the best gun in the world, but hey, I'll take it. I don't have a lot of good guns. And yeah. So if I try this boy out, I'm missing. There we go, I got him. So yeah, let's see my accuracy. And there is bullet drop on this game, so sometimes you gotta aim a little bit above their head with certain guns. Like that. There we go. So this is a pretty decent gun. This doesn't have a lot of bullets, but I really can't complain. And these guys are gonna try to come and kill me, so I'm gonna see if I can get around here. Hey, there we go. This is what I need. So this is a AK-74U. That's an automatic weapon. That's gonna really help me here. See if I can get some medcal. No. Alright. Let's put that right there. And now these zombies don't stand a chance. Oh, okay. Oh, that's right. There we go. Sorry, I'm trying to teach you guys, but at the same time I'm also trying to survive, so just bear with me here for a sec. I'm reloading my gun, shooting while I'm crouching to give myself the most accuracy. So let's see if these guys come here. And some guns have more recoil than others. So as you see here, you see that it's recoil. So what you have to do is you have to fight the gun. So as you're shooting, you want to pull down as you shoot with some guns to fight the recoil and make your shots more accurate. Now what I found back there, I'm just making sure the building's clear before I keep going. Yeah, it looks like I've killed most of them. So this is a backpack. So this is a 9 slot with a 5-second open. So as you see there, it's counting down, it's opening. Now anything that I don't need right away, I'm just going to put in here. So let's say all this. I don't really need this. I don't need this. I don't need this right now. I don't need that. I don't need that. I don't need that. Well, I need that actually. And there's a zombie sneaking up on me, so I'll try to do this relatively quickly. And there. Now I just opened myself up with a lot more space. And I've been bitten. Alright, so this is a great example of why you got to keep your eyes open, because that one little crawling zombie bit me. Now this isn't a death sentence. It doesn't mean that I'm going to die for sure, but it definitely is not going to be nice for me. So one of the things you can think about when you get in a state like this, where you're kind of messed up, and you need to find a place to get out of. So right now I need to maybe find an evacuation point. That might be a good idea. So there's the airport water tower. That's the closest one to me, 545 blocks away. That might be a good idea to go there, because if I can get out of the map alive before I die from the infection, I'll be able to keep everything I just found, and I can put it in my bank. And that's kind of the way the game works. Or if I want to risk it, I can keep going and I can try to find a hospital. And I think that's what I'm going to try to do in this video, but it doesn't mean that I'm going to survive. So there we go. I just leveled up my traveling skill. And you see I'm getting dizzy because the infection is slowly killing me. And what it will do, the zombie infection will do, is it'll slowly starve me to death. It's kind of ironic. The zombie virus makes you very hungry. Lol. So we're just going to keep going. I'm going to try to make it to a hospital, and maybe I'll be able to find a cure, and that's what you need to do. So as you see at the top of my screen, it says, I've been bitten, I need a cure. So that means that in order to survive this, I'm going to need to find a cure, or I'm going to die. And I might die. That's just the way the server is sometimes. You don't necessarily survive every situation. I got bitten, and now I have to head through a dangerous city in order to survive. So we're just going to go through here, and I know where the hospital is. As a player, you're going to have to learn this, but the hospitals usually are located in cities and stuff, and they usually have that H. The hospital iconography. So there's a police station, for example. There's a large building. Got the big police logo on it. And we're just going to run through all of this, and we're going to head straight for there, because right now being bitten is a very bad effect. It's worse than bleeding. It's worse than breaking your bones. And it's bad too because it depletes your food supply. You really want to have as much food as possible. And now that I'm thinking of that, remember that hat we found earlier that was good for food? It actually might be good in this situation. So I'm going to put on this nutrition hat. It's a bit goofy, but if it keeps me alive, I can't complain. And there we go. Look at that. The first loot I opened, I found a cure. So we're good to go. I made the right call. There we go. That should stop the infection. I'm going to close these doors because we don't want any zombies getting in. So I can take this off. I'm going to put on my bandit hat again, and I'm going to eat this bread. Because I got the bread. Lol. Alright. So, as I say, I'm running a little bit lower on food now that I have been eating it all because of my infection, but I'm still alive, and that's what matters. So, there we go, another cure. So, yeah, cures aren't super rare, but they're also not super common, and it always feels like when you need it the most, you don't have it. So, if you see a hospital, try to loot the hospital. It's always worth it. You might find stuff that you need. So, actually, these slippers look a little bit nicer. They might not be as stylish as my Bloodstones, but they give me more speed, so I'm all about that speed. And look at this, wow, that's a lot of stuff. Nothing that I necessarily need right now, but I'll take these just in case I get shot. You need tweezers to pull lodged bullets and shrapnel. And again, this is a big server, so don't feel overwhelmed by all the items. Just think of it like you're going to get a lot of playtime out of this game. You'll be able to play this server for even years, and you'll still be able to find new stuff and do different things. And this is all just the beginning. This is just the, just your first starting out. This is your first run. So yeah, and there's lots of crafting and stuff. And again, I'm just going to rip these clothes up that I'm not using, and I've got 24. So what I'm going to do is I got all these bottles of medicine, and I'm going to turn those into gauze because in that situation where I was fighting those guys, actually, having gauze is nice because it lets you heal a little bit faster. So let me just put all this gauze in here. There we go. Look at that. So now I've got 10 gauze, and these also cures bleeding as well as heals you. So it's pretty nice to hold on to. I'm just going to loot this whole building here. Splints are good for when you break your bones. This is a trauma kit, so it heals both bleeding and bones. It's a little bit rare. There's lots of items in this game, and we're only really getting started. You haven't even really been shot at or attacked by another player or anything. It's quite large. The entire goal, though, the premise of the game is simple. It's you want to survive, and you want to get as much loot and items as you can, and you want to just keep getting better at the game. And keep getting more skilled, and a lot of that just comes down to playing the game. So I found an item here that's a little bit interesting. So this is a calculator. So you might be wondering, what the hell? Why did you just find a calculator? So this is a post-apocalyptic world, and there are some items that they consider treasure. So this is a calculator. It's probably solar powered, and they don't have a lot of technology in the future. So this is actually considered a treasure item. It doesn't do anything. If I use it, I can't do much with it, but what I can do is I can hold on to this item, and I'm going to put it in my backpack. And what happens is if I find some merchants, I can sell it to the merchants, and they'll actually buy it for money. So that's a pretty rare item. It's good to hold on to those items because you can make some serious cash off them. So we're going to keep going here. Hey, a box of parts. That's pretty good. And some more fuel. So this is some machine oil. If I put this in my hotbar, it's going to slightly reduce jams. So sometimes when you're using a gun too much, if you're reloading too often, it'll jam. And this will help reduce the time it takes to unjam it because you need to put the oil in it. Now let's see here. With a box of parts, as it says here, craft with certain weapons to upgrade them. Now, if I do that, let's see what I get with this gun, for example. An extended magazine. Nice. Or let's see what I get with this. A dual action trigger. That's pretty cool. But I think I'm going to go with the AK because that 45 round mag is kind of nice. And there we go. Alright, so I don't want this video to go too long. The goal of it is just to help you get from your first time playing. I'm not trying to teach you everything because obviously that would be a much bigger video. But I'm trying to teach you the basics. So another thing you can do if you're a brand new player is do /help. This is going to give you a ton of information like how to get to our website, how to change your chat, like if you want to go global, local, or clan. Here's the map again that I was telling you about earlier. Item help. This will tell you about what items do and stuff. And daily rewards. This is great for new players. If you want to get a free thing, you get free crates every day, just for playing. Tokens is how much money you have, and money is used for stuff like ranking up and buying items from players, and it's kind of just the global currency. Ranking up gets you new kits and new powers every time you rank up. It just rewards you for playing. Here's the voting is good for the server, resource pack, your kits. Here's the crafting I was telling you about, how to check your crafting. So basically what this does is this just shows you everything. So it's very easy. Just do /help and that's how you do stuff. So if you've got a clan, for example, if you're teamed with a lot of players, you can click this and it'll teleport you to your clan's home. This is to check your skills, I was telling you earlier. So here's all my skills now. As you can see, I've leveled up a bit. I'm total level 3. Only playing it for a little bit here, not really doing much. If you have a sleeping bag, you'll be able to teleport back to your sleeping bag with this one. And then yeah, here's your cords. You don't really need this because you got your cords right here, but you know, it's there. And then here's bosses. So bosses are a big part of the server. Once you get better at the game and you want like a bigger challenge and you want to go get some of the best loot, you can go fight these guys. And there's a lot of them. There's like different, you know, the Maniac and the Mad Scientist and Scavenge, the Butcher and, you know, Outcast. There's lots of these pretty cool guys, and they all have different loot. So if you kill them, they can drop some pretty cool items. So yeah, I'm not trying to make this video too long, but I just wanted to show you what the server has to offer. So now I think we should probably focus on getting the hell out of here. So basically, yeah, here, let me explain what I just did. So if you don't have a compass, what you do is you do /kit compass. You can do this whenever you want. It's totally free, and it just gives you another compass. Now with a compass, you can track points of interest. So let's say you really want to go to Olmbury. Boom, there you go. Now you can go to Olmbury. But in this case, I'm going to use it to get to an evac point. So I only have 14 minutes left. What this means is that once it gets to 0, it's going to move. All these evacs are going to go to different locations. So I've got 14 minutes to get to the closest one, which is either the airport water tower, or I can go to the Ridgevale parking garage, or I can go to the Camp Talor, which is almost 2,000 blocks away. That's doable, and it might be smart sometimes that there's lots of players on. But since it's just really me on, I'm going to go to the airport water tower, which is closest to me. So you just click on that, and then your compass is going to start pointing in the direction you got to go. So we're going to just follow the compass, and I'm no longer bitten, so I'm probably going to be fine on this journey, and as long as I don't get bitten again. Hey, and look at that. So that zombie just dropped me a lockpick. So let's just get out of here. Again, another mistake that a lot of noobs make is that they would have fought that group of zombies. And that's not always a good idea. You kind of want to get out of here. You don't necessarily want to fight the zombies because it's good to do it. Here, I'll do it for fun just for a sec. Look at that recoil. If I didn't control the recoil, it would just send me up in the air, but I'm doing my best. It's very fun. So I just wasted all my bullets, but you get the idea. It's fun to shoot. Now I could loot this, but I'm just going to probably head directly for the airport so I can get out in time. And yeah, this is probably going to be concluding the tutorial. The goal of this tutorial is just to get you from your first spawn to your first evac, and because basically what the server is once you've done that once and you just keep repeating that process, every time you go back into the world, you're going to be smarter, you're going to be better, you're going to have more items, and you're going to get stronger, and then you'll be able to fight other players and get better at the game. And yeah, so we're going to head towards this evac. Another thing you can do that's kind of important as you're learning the server is, let's say, so I got this rotting meat here. What you can do is you can punch these trees, and you can get these things called tree branches. Now, the tree branches can be used to make splints. So if I broke my bone, that's how you fix it. Now you can learn all that from /crafting, of course. But I'm going to try to get 4 of these tree branches. Now I've got, yeah, there we go, I got 4. So what you do is you do this, and you craft a firewood. Now I've got a firewood, and I have scrap metal. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to try to find some rocks. And you can find rocks by digging around in the brush. So let's just see if I can find some rocks there. There we go, I found some rocks. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the 2 rocks there, or like that, and then I'm going to put 1 scrap metal. Boom, there we go, campfire. So what you can do with a campfire, just making sure I'm safe, you always want to be checking around you, make sure there's nothing sneaking up on you. I'm going to go over here where it's a little bit more dense. I've got 15 minutes, so I'm not too worried about losing that evac. I'm just going to teach you guys one last thing here. So you hold the campfire and you right click, and there you go. You got a little campfire. And as you can see, the campfire is going to be healing me a little bit as I'm close to it. And if I hold these rotten flesh, I can cook it into cooked meat. So I'm a little hungry, so I'm going to use that. And there you go. So put that out so we don't have a smoke trail. And there we go. So I just ate, you know, so there's a lot of stuff like that in the server that's just fun little stuff to live off the land. And yeah, so I got my Delisle here. Again, it's all about when you see an enemy, you shift, you aim, and you shoot. If they're close to you, you don't want to waste all that time, so you can just go, you know, you can just shoot randomly at them and try to kill them as fast as possible. So we're still heading towards this evacuation point. In a server full of players, if there's like, you know, 100 players on, it's going to be a lot harder than this. You might have to encounter some people. There might be a player there. There could be a player there, you know. So you got to be very careful and just keep your eyes open. This server is not supposed to be easy. It's not supposed to be safe. So again, look at my thirst. So I should probably drink. Alrighty. Yeah, so I did pretty well this run. This is no extraordinary run, but I wanted to keep this video short, so we're just going to head directly for that evac point there. And yeah, once you evac, you can store all the loot that you've received and stuff like that. If I had died, I would have lost it all, so it's important to try to evac whenever you feel safe. So here's the evac point, the airport water tower. Time left, I have 10 minutes still. And here we go. So I'm evacuating in 10 seconds. So hopefully I don't get shot in the time, but I think I'm pretty safe. So I'm about to be teleported back to the safe zone. There we go. So I made it back, right where I was, and this time I've got a lot of gear on me. So this is how the server is played basically, and then what I would do is I'd come here, and you can drop off anything you want to, and here this is your safe loot. No one can touch this. And or what you can do is you could do /market, and you can sell stuff on here. So if I wanted to, I could hold this and say market, sell, I don't know, 50. That's not a valid price. There we go. And then if I look at the market again, there we go. I'm selling my machete for $50. And yeah. So you can do that for all your items and try to make some money, and then you can start ranking up. And then, yeah, once you're ready to go again, and again, this is a very, very basic tutorial for new players. It's not going to be, you know, making you the best player in the game or anything, but it'll definitely get you started, and that's the point. So whenever you're ready to start again, you just run over here, and you start again. So anyways, thanks guys.